So
Okay.
the one thing to be aware of, just so everybody knows, is on most of our presentations, we actually try to do something that is live / actually goes to the website to do something to show you what it is. And so since we're doing things live, we're subject to the technology constraints. So if the internet goes down, this is going to be a really horrible presentation, just so you know.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to ask a dumb question. Who has not heard of YouTube before? Okay. Woo, you're all in the right class, and I don't have to start us. Huh? Who's not used it? Okay, raise your hand if you have not used YouTube before. Okay, few of you. Okay, I'm hoping to make you a convert today. Okay, so you're in a good class. All right, so how many of you have used PayPal? Okay, did you know that in 2005, a former PayPal employee started YouTube? And it was a way to share videos. Now, prior to 2005, it was very difficult to share videos over the internet. It was primarily restricted to news channels just because they had the bigger bandwidth, the bigger budget to provide videos, or you could host it on your own internet website, so your own blog or a web page. But things changed when this ingenious PayPal employee said, you know what, let's make it easier to share videos. Now, trivia. What was the subject of the very first YouTube video? Say that.
Dating?
Dating.
Somebody said cats. Anybody else guess? You're guessing family history?
Nope.
No. You're all wrong.
We're all wrong. Let's find out what it is. Master Trivia Man. It was a trip to the zoo to see an elephant. It was 19 seconds long, and you can still see it today.
It only has like 62 million views. It's actually not the most popular video. I don't know why. I mean, look at this.
Isn't that great?
Good camera work, stunning story, the visuals, a subject that we can all relate to. All right, so YouTube has really revolutionized the way that we can consume media. And if you'll just bear with me while I'm changing different things up here. Now, currently there are more than 5 billion, that's billion with a B, videos on YouTube. And there's about 400 hours of content that is uploaded every single minute. So during this class, there's going to be 240,000 hours of video uploaded to YouTube. That's pretty amazing. And what it means is in 3 years, there's going to be twice as much content on YouTube as there is today. So you are never going to run out of anything to watch on YouTube. That's really what you can learn from this.
Yeah.
Now, the really interesting thing is about 70% of all the views of YouTube are on mobile devices, so your tablet or your smartphones, and about 80% of them are from outside of the United States. So it is not just a US-centric website. But who remembers back in the 80s and 90s different reports about how many hours kids spent in front of the TV? Yeah, and it was like outrageous, like, 5-6 hours a day. Well, guess what? Things haven't changed. We still spend 5-6 hours a day in front of screens. We've just changed from a TV to our computers, our smartphones. And the great thing is you don't have to be bored. It's not like there's nothing to watch on TV like there was in the 80s. You just watch because you had to watch. Now you can choose what it is you want to watch. You can find something that you really like no matter how small, specific that niche is that you like. There is something on YouTube, and hopefully you'll see some of that today. Now in 2006, so really just about a year after YouTube started, Google bought YouTube, and they've started to integrate that into all of their product line over the last 10 years. What this means is that YouTube has actually turned into the second largest search engine on the planet, next only to Google itself. So if you want to find something and you've searched Google, go try YouTube, and you might find it there too.
We're going to give you a little backstory of how we became YouTubers, and then we're going to start making sure everybody's on the same page, get you maximizing your use of YouTube, and then we're going to go heavy into how to use YouTube as a library of learning and family bonding. So technology has greatly improved many aspects of our lives, and having grown up when home computers were first available, Andy and I have just always been involved with computers. Him more so than me, which is why he always does the technical stuff, always comes up with new, let's do this, and I'm like, okay. And YouTube was something that Andy was an early adopter of. So he actually got the videos up.
Let me see here.
So when YouTube came on, Andy decided, you know what, I need a place to throw up and share some of my explosions. He's an engineer who likes to blow things up. He made a cannon, as you can see right here, out of PVC pipe and a number of other things. And so for our family reunion, he became Uncle Boom because he shot off stuffed animals out of the cannon. So it was one of the things you have to know about stuffed animals. You can't donate it to like Goodwill anymore. They won't accept them. So this was our way of recycling stuffed animals. The kids love it. They still keep calling him Uncle Boom and wondering when he's going to build another cannon. So it wasn't until 2016.
Wait for the boom.
Oh, no boom. Waiting for a boom. Oh, there's the boom. There goes Cat in the Hat flying. It was really fun. Sorry about that. I needed to wait for the boom. All right. So it wasn't until 2016 when we thought seriously about having a YouTube channel. At that time, no offense to people who've come before us on the YouTube platform, but a lot of the genealogy education was either really, really long, like hours, or it wasn't true to the platform. It wasn't visually stimulating. And so I had the idea, why don't we make short videos? We started with 5 to 7 minutes, but now we're about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, depending on what we're doing. And it's been wonderful. We've had a lot of fun. And it's really changing the culture of genealogy education. And I hope that you will take a peek at it. So in 2016, we laid out a plan and recorded our first 10 videos. And since that time, we posted about 300 videos. So 300 videos, 5 to 7 minutes, sometimes 10. You've got a lot that you can watch, but they're easily digestible. And we post about 2 new videos a week, or have live streams every other week. So 2 new videos every week, and some weeks you get the bonus live stream, which we tried to do here, but you know what? Sometimes technology just doesn't work.
All right. So hopefully all of you are interested in learning how YouTube is this library of learning, and also you can use it for family bonding. And that's what we want to talk about today. Now, YouTube is free to watch. You can log on to your computer right now and you can watch it for free. But to get the best experience out of it, you actually want to have a Google account. And the reason why you want to do that is because there are a lot of things you can do if you're logged in with your Google username and password on YouTube that you can't do otherwise. So we're going to talk about 5 things that you can do with your Google account on YouTube that you don't get that benefit for otherwise.
All right, so go ahead and pull up our first site that I wanted to show off. And while he's doing that, I'm going to give you the first tip. The first tip is that when you find content that you really like, there's this red subscribe button. Do you see it up there? And he's going to kind of wave his little mouse around. That's the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. So I personally like the Pawn Stars. Anybody have watched the Pawn Stars on the History Channel? So they have a lot of their clips. They also do some highlights of some of their so they have collection videos, and you can watch all of the things that they have there. So when you like a channel, hit the subscribe button. What that does is it tells YouTube, this is some of the content I like to watch. And it also becomes kind of like your blog roll, or how many of you bookmark websites on your Chrome? This on YouTube is your bookmark. So when you create a subscription list, so hit that red subscribe button. That's tip number 1. When you find a channel that you like their content.
All right, and so the second tip we have is also related here, is to get notifications. Now at one point with YouTube, all you had to do is hit subscribe and it would tell you whenever a new video would pop up, except that people started uploading 400 hours of content a minute, and some people got really irritated about getting notifications pretty much all the time. So YouTube implemented something else. So if you want to actually have notifications on a channel, and usually these are for channels that maybe post once a week or less often than that, then after you've hit subscribe, you can go over here and click on this bell icon. And that means... Sorry. I didn't know what you did.
I walked too far.
Yeah, don't walk in front of the speaker. So that bell icon will actually give you a notification. So whenever you are on YouTube, there will be a notification bell there to tell you. If you're on your mobile device, it will also let you know that, hey, this channel has uploaded a new video. Do you want to go and watch it right now?
Now, Andy, wave your mouse above the bell beside our channel icon thing, our little picture.
Right here?
Go to the left,
oh,
right there. So right there, that is where your notifications are going to show up, okay? And you can see the different, we subscribe to our own channel, so we know when we have new stuff go live. It's just kind of funny. Actually, those are when people like some of our videos, but you're not going to have that because you won't necessarily have your own channel, but you can see where when other people upload content, say, hey, you might want to check this out. So tip number 2 was to turn on the notification. Now, tip number 3, subscribe and notifications don't work if it's a dead channel. So YouTube is actually kind of an archive. People posted up videos in 2005, 2009, 2012, and they decided, YouTube's not for me, but their videos stayed. So if you hit subscribe and if you hit notify, there's nothing that's gonna come through. So tip number 3 is don't subscribe to a dead channel. Andy, can you go back to Pawn Stars?
So how can you find out if something's a dead channel? Well, if you go and you find their channel, it's really easy. You just go look at their video list. And you can see on their video list here, hey, they posted something an hour ago. They posted something 19 hours ago, a day ago. And it's all arranged in chronological order as far as time. So if you go to this channel and you see these videos and the last posting was a year ago or 4 years ago, clicking on that notification is not going to tell you anything because there's nothing that's going to be posted more than likely. So that's just one way to check. It doesn't mean that they don't have good content. It just means that they're not putting any more content on right now.
So instead of clicking on, when you find out it's a dead channel, you're going to do something different. You're going to hit like, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit later. So tip number 4.
Tip number 4. This is review your favorite channels. So let me go over to when you go on to YouTube and you first log on to YouTube, you're going to get a screen like this. And there'll be a little commercial or something playing there. But then there's going to be these recommended channels down here that some of them are channels that you've already subscribed to. Some of them are similar things. What we want to look at is we want to go over to the menu bar right on the top corner and look at our subscriptions. And in those subscriptions, these are all the channels that we've subscribed to, and it has the recent stuff that has been added to YouTube. And it's arranged, again, chronologically. So today, yesterday, the last week, I think in the last month.
So as you can see, we kind of subscribe to how to be a better YouTube channel videos, but this is going to be your content, and that's why it's YouTube. It's the content you most want. So you want to make sure that you review your channel list when you go in there. Now, the next thing you want to do, the whole reason why sharing these tips is make sure everybody's on the same page, because some of you haven't used the platform before. But we want to make sure you maximize your experience when you get on YouTube. So the 5th tip I have for you is to create a playlist. So perhaps you're watching or you're scrolling through your subscription and you're like, yeah, I like that one. No, I don't like that one. Or anytime you're on a channel, they're going to, a video, there'll be bonus videos where they say you might also like, and let's say you don't have time right then to watch that video, well, you can hover over a video and add it to a watch later list, create playlist. But the other fantastic thing about creating a library of learning or to have family bonding is you can create videos. When you're on a video, if you like it, there'll be a little plus button, and you can add it to a created playlist, and you can call it whatever playlist you want. Now, Andy was showing you, he's going to go back to this one. So my family is from Columbus, Ohio. I have many generations of people from Columbus, Ohio. So I created a playlist of some tours around Columbus, Ohio, so that when I want to revisit what it was like and learn about the history of Columbus, I can do this. Now, what's the point of that? How many of you have family, especially children and grandchildren, that you want them to experience the things that you like growing up, maybe movie stars and things like that? How many of you would love to be able to do that? Okay? Do you want to send them a link to every single video? No, but you can curate maybe the famous, for us, Andy and I both liked a heavy metal, well, not heavy metal, but the hair bands of 1980 in the US. So we could create a hair bands video list, and then they can learn about that. Or we can do, hey, there's Cornwall English videos, and we could create that. So you can create video playlist, and then just share that link. If you're a part of a genealogy society, if you're a blogger, you can create a playlist of some of your favorite educational videos and share that with your membership. If you work at a library, create a playlist and share that with your patrons. So playlists are a really, really great way to, you've found something, now go share it with somebody else by creating a playlist.
All right. So the great thing about YouTube is so far, really what we've talked about a lot is, finding the channels that you like and saving them, maybe a little bit of, getting some of these things together. But what separates YouTube from television in the past or movies in the past is that you actually are able to engage with the creators of this content, and you're able to engage with other people who are watching this content. So let's go over some tips on how you can do that and how that's going to affect your YouTube watching experience.
All right, so tip number one on engaging with the content is liking a video. Go find a video, maybe one of those Columbus ones. Right here, you can see there's the title, there's the view count, and then there's the thumbs up and thumbs down. So if you like a video, press the thumbs up. It does a couple things. One, it tells YouTube, I like this content. Maybe I don't want to subscribe to the channel. Maybe it's a dead channel, but you really like this content, and YouTube will start trying to give you more and more of those types of videos. The other thing is this is where creators look. When they see a lot of views and a lot of positive thumbs ups, it tells a creator like me, we need to make more of these kinds of videos, which then makes you a loyal fan like Patricia here. So hit the thumbs up. If you really, 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 really think it's a terrible video, perhaps it's kind of clickbait, it has this really great title, but then when you get there, it's not what you thought it was going to be, then go ahead and put a thumbs down. If it's just mediocre, move on. Tip number two.
All right, so tip number two is you can comment on the video.
Yes, comments.
Let me go and find, I thought we had one that was commenting here. Yeah. No, it wasn't that one.
But there were some comments.
Well, there was some comments, so we'll use this one. So as you scroll down on that video, you can see that, hey, people are commenting, and this is people who have that Google login, and that's one of the reasons why you want to use that Google login, because that allows you to comment on the video. And if any of you see any of your comments here, then just raise your hand saying, hey, that's me. I commented on that. But with the comments, you can do lots of different things. So for instance, if you have some more relevant information that the video was talking about, this can include outside links to other websites.
Absolutely.
You can put that in the comments. If you have a question, maybe something you didn't understand, you can put that in the comments. If there's something that you didn't like, or if something doesn't make sense, put that in the comments. As you can see here, people can go and they can reply to those comments. They can like the comments just like they can like the video. And so it is a great way to start to engage with other people about that specific content. You can see what other people are actually thinking about that topic. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the comments on YouTube is the creator of that video has complete control over the comments. So they can allow comments to be posted. They can not allow comments to be posted. They can delete your comment after it's posted. And they can kick you off and not allow you to comment at all.
We've done that a couple times with some inappropriate comments.
So the thing is it's okay to disagree. It's okay to tell people that, yeah, you didn't like this or that this was incorrect, but be polite about it. If you're polite, you're usually not going to get kicked off. And remember, even though you might think that you remain anonymous on the internet, you're not.
No.
You're really not. So, you know, say it just like you'd say it in another group of people or at church. Something like that.
Tip number 3?
Tip number 3.
Tip number 3. Let me tag on one more thing about commenting, and that was when you're on a video, ask a question related to the video. So if you're on a DNA video, don't start asking about how to do Irish research. Keep kind of the conversation on topic if you don't mind. So that's my one little bonus tip. But tip number 3 is share videos. So Andy, go ahead and find the share button. And notice you can share a video anywhere on social media that you have an account. Now, why share? Well, it tells YouTube you like this so much, you're going to share it. So what is YouTube going to do? It's going to, in its recommended page that he's going to talk about later, give you more of the same content. Additionally, if you are with a library, if you're with an archive, if you're with a business, if you have a blog, if you're with a genealogy society or historical society, if you're a blogger, if you grab that embed code button right there, you are not going to get a copyright violation by taking my video or anybody else's video and taking that embed code and putting it on your website or your blog. Why? Because it goes back to our videos. So you can maximize, like say you're trying to tell your genealogy society about how to use Ancestry.com and you find these great videos. Well, create a blog post, put those videos into a blog post page, you're done. You didn't have to come up with how-to tips. You just go steal somebody else's work. And it's really not steal, it's share. So share, 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 share. Additionally, now this is genealogy learning. What about the kids? Well, kids are on social media. If you want to draw their attention to something that you did growing up, they have never seen a banana seat bicycle. Anybody have a banana seat bicycle? Yeah. Let's say you went on YouTube and found a video of a banana seat bicycle. I mean, the picture's okay, but to see somebody actually riding a banana seat bicycle, they can kind of see just how awkward it was and how long the seat was. And if you had 2 people on a bike, now that's really cool, right? So you can share those videos with your family as well. So share, 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 share. Share?
Yeah, share. All right, so let's go back here to our video and let's talk a little bit about how you can control your watching experience. Because there are several different ways that you can make it unique to yourself of what you want. The first thing that you can do is...
Can I interrupt for just 1 second?
Okay, you got it.
So he's going to show you some tips for how to view that are on the website. But if you have YouTube mobile app, many of these tips are going to apply. So just wanted to throw that out to you if you're dedicated to mobile technology. Keep going.
All right. So when you log onto a video, this is basically the default screen that you get. You have the video, you have the recommendations list over on the side, and you have the comments section down below. If you want, say, a little bit larger screen, you can go to the theater mode. And what that does is that makes the video across the entire width of that window. A little bit better viewing experience. It's also the same thing on your mobile device, on your phone. Initially, it starts with just that small one. You turn it sideways, and it covers up the whole screen. If you're watching at home on your monitor, you can go to the full screen mode, which is now going to have the full screen. Now, one thing you won't see here is you won't see the comments. You won't see the recommended videos until the video is over, But in a lot of cases, that may not be anything that you want to see or need to see. And finally, there's this mode right here. It's called the mini player. And I actually like this because what you can do is you can be watching the video, particularly after you've done a search or something else. It comes down to the bottom of your screen, and you can still be going through and looking for other content that you may want to watch that may be related, or you may be searching for something else as far as the next thing you want to watch. So the next set of functions is in the settings icon right here. Now let me play this right now, and let me turn on the sound. One of the things that you can do is you can change the speed. So if you want to get a lot of content really fast and you don't mind funny voices, we can watch the video at, I think, as much as 2 times, or is it, yeah, as much as 2 times the speed. Now the sound isn't that good at 2 times the speed, but honestly at like 1 1/4 times the speed, it doesn't sound too bad. If somebody talks really fast, you can actually slow the sound down. If somebody talks really slow, you can speed them up. Mm-hmm. If it's just, say, music and some different scenery, there's really no talking, sometimes you may just want to watch that 5-minute video in 2.5 minutes. You can do that with the speed setting. The next one, let's go find our video right here. So the next one is the closed captionings and subtitles.
This is my favorite. As I said earlier, I'm hearing impaired. So if you haven't discovered this feature, you definitely want to turn this on.
Now they have these like really small right now. I'm not sure why they have them super small.
There's a size, YouTube size option somewhere for the captioning. I usually have to go and adjust the size. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, options.
Yep.
So you can make it, where's the size, as big as you want, so that a lot of the videos are auto-generated as far as the captions, so they're not going to be 100% accurate. You may see some funny things there. But if the person speaks clearly, you're actually going to get a lot of that is very accurate. And some people have actually gone through and created closed captioning files that they've attached to it, which is just like professionally made closed captioning on their videos. Now the next option that I want to bring your attention to is the quality option. Now YouTube's going to default to a certain quality, and this is going to affect your viewing experience depending on what resolution your monitor's at, but also depending on what the speed of your internet connection is. So for instance, if you're trying to watch a high quality video and you have a slow internet connection, then you're going to be getting it stopping periodically as it buffers and tries to get ahead of itself. So you can always, if you're having that happen, you can always go into the settings here and change the quality down. Now, it's not going to be as good of a resolution, but if that is not a particular concern, then you can do that. Now, one case where this is really important is if you're watching YouTube videos that are like replays of a podcast where there really is no visual part, maybe they just have a static slide that stays there the whole time, then go into the quality and drop that video quality down to the lowest setting possible. What that will do is if you're doing it on mobile, it's going to save your data because video takes up a lot of data. And so you can watch things that you're just really listening to at a much lower quality, and it doesn't affect the sound quality at all because the sound is a very small portion of what is being streamed. It's the video that is that big portion. So if you're not watching it, you're just listening to it, drop that quality down to the lowest level so you can save that data on your phone.
All right, so we've given you tips on how to get more of the content that you want by the actions that you take, and we've also told you how to get the best viewer experience. So now we want to talk about a library. What good is a library if you can't get anything out of it? So we're going to teach you how to get out some of the things that are related to genealogy and family bonding. So the first thing I want to talk about is, it's going to the recommendation page. When you log in to YouTube on your mobile device or using a browser, you will see this recommendation page. On the recommendation page, they will show you content that might be relevant to you. And as you scroll down, they will also show you content from some of the trending videos that you don't really like. You're going to see some of the videos from your subscriptions down here, and other different types of channel that you might be interested in. So pause right there for a minute. All right, so let's say I see documentary movies topic, and that looks kind of interesting, and I check them out. I can hit this red subscribe button right there on that recommendation page. So how does this recommendation come to be? All of those tips we said, liking, subscribing, notifications, bells, sharing, all of that, commenting, that's what YouTube does when you've signed into an account. If you don't sign into an account, YouTube doesn't know how to give you the content you want. So first thing, when you go to YouTube and you've been there for a while, check out the recommendation page. It will improve the more you use it. When you first start out, they give you a lot of the trending stuff, and if you have a lot of kids, like, it's their stuff, crazy stuff, but this is the first place to look for good content. Okay, number 2. Sorry about that. Okay. At the search bar?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So, as Andy said before, YouTube is a search bar. So,
Search engine.
YouTube is a search engine just like Google. That's right. So, go ahead and use the search bar. Now, a couple things you need to know. You can do genealogy plus DNA. Do genealogy plus DNA. And now and hit return, enter. Now you're going to see a list of videos that are genealogy plus DNA. Now go back and do genealogy minus Jesus, because there's the genealogy of Jesus videos on there. But let's say I mean, no offense to Jesus, but maybe you don't really want that. You want something more related to how to do genealogy and stuff like that. You can do genealogy minus Jesus, and then you get a playlist like this. Okay, so those are the only kind of Boolean operators, I don't know how to say that, operators that YouTube uses. They don't do asterisks. We don't use the asterisks on there, just the plus and the minus. Now, something else you can see here is as you're typing, Andy's going to start typing very slowly, genealogy proof standard. Is that something we need to learn about? Yeah. So he's going to start typing genealogy proof and pause. Standard, and notice there's a space for genealogy private investigators. Who knew that was a topic, right? So something YouTube does for you is as you're typing in search terms, then you will have this recommended list of some other topics. It tries to help you narrow it down, but there might be some topics that you hadn't considered before, so go ahead and pay attention as you're typing. Don't always just type in really super fast. Okay. Now let's go to a video. Go to that MyHeritage DNA video. No, you can do that one.
I can do that one.
That one worked. All right, so YouTube just started rolling out a new feature for you to get more of what you want. So when you go into a video, you will see these hashtags. Andy has highlighted them on your screen. So you have DNA, what else? It says genealogy, and it says ancestry. So click on ancestry. Now these only work because us as content creators have to go in and put the hashtags. YouTube doesn't do it for you. So you're going to get some strange results sometimes, such as, oh, I took a test. Oh, I did this. Meeting my biological father, that sounds good. It might not be what you want, but it's you never know what you're going to find. So click on the one for genealogy. Go back to the video and click on the one for genealogy. Oh, look, our video keeps coming up. So you can see that there's a lot of different ways to access genealogy-based content. So use those hashtags. Once you get into a video that you like, look at the hashtags above the title, and then you're going to be guided to some topical categories. Now, finally, Andy, tell them about the Google search page.
So about 15 years ago, this is a story, when the internet was still new and search engines were still in their infancy, I had a coworker who he did some ranching. He raised bulls and sold them. And he told me one day that he thought the internet was worthless, and I asked him why. And he says, well, I wanted to find out some more about selling these Angus bulls, and so I opened up my browser and I typed in Angus bulls, and nothing happened. So the internet doesn't have anything on it. And I told him, you know, at that time, it doesn't work that way. The internet doesn't work that way. You can't just go and type in something and the internet's going to know what you're supposed to, what it is that you want to know. But that was 15 years ago. Times have changed. The internet now knows that everything is a search. So, in the top, instead of typing an address.
No, you're still on YouTube. You're still on YouTube.
No, I'm typing in the address bar.
Okay.
Let's do genealogy DNA. It's automatically going to go to a search engine and look up genealogy DNA. And as part of that, do they have the videos on here? What was our search term that we used? Oh, that's what it was. If I type in understanding some of the first things that are listed there is videos. Those are links to YouTube videos. So you don't even have to go to YouTube to begin your search. You can now literally open up your browser and just type in whatever it is that you want to learn something about, whatever it is that you're searching for, and you're going to be able to get content that may or may not be applicable to your specific search. So the internet has changed. It's gotten a lot smarter for us. Now, why should genealogists use YouTube? We've shown you a lot of the things that you can do with YouTube, but why would genealogists use YouTube? Because if you'll notice, one of the things we haven't shown you is we haven't shown you any record sets. YouTube really doesn't have any catalog of birth, marriage, and death records. It doesn't have any family trees that you can really go and look at and see how you might be related. There's not really a lot of content for what we typically think of as genealogy that is on YouTube. And I would say if all you're interested in genealogy, if the only thing you care about is building your family tree, and that's it, then YouTube might not be the best place for you. But, there's always a but. YouTube is a library of learning. Right? Like Devon had said earlier, it's a repository of what lots of people have put on there as far as their knowledge. So if you want to discover some more stories about your ancestors, if you want to learn about the places that your ancestors lived, if you want to find ways to share your discoveries with others, if you want to learn some new skills, if you want to learn how to do some research, any of these things all have content on YouTube that can help you to further your own genealogy hobby. So we're going to show you 3 major ways that we use YouTube in our hobby.
Absolutely.
And the first one is researching locations and histories. Now, all of our ancestors, they lived at specific times. They lived in specific locations. They witnessed specific events. And if we want to flesh out the stories of our ancestors, then we're going to have to find out details about those times, about those places, about those events. Now, YouTube is replete with information about history. There's actually a lot of stuff. Let's start with the History Channel. The History Channel, particularly this playlist called History Explained, has a lot of videos about little snippets of history. Some of these are just as short as a minute or 2 minutes long. Others are much longer, where you can learn about some specific aspect of history.
Because genealogy without history is meaningless, right? We have to have the context in order to understand our genealogy.
Another one that we use with our kids a lot is called Crash Courses. They have a couple of series about U.S. history and about world history that go into some of the nitty-gritty of different things all throughout history. So this is a great channel to be able to share with your children to also learn something about different parts that your ancestors may have been a part of.
Now, it's a crash course, so I'm so glad that Andy told you how to slow down the speed of the videos because they talk really, really fast. So you might want to go ahead and watch it and slow them down a little bit.
So in addition to these obvious history channels, there's also some other ones, like for instance, the National Archives. They have a playlist of many different things. And you can see here everything from World War I and World War II films. You have, the Know Your Records. If you're trying to learn about different record sets, they have some of that information on there. And so there's a lot of information that you can learn for yourself. And again, it's free to watch. All of these videos are free for you. Now, one of the great things that I like doing is learning about cultural history. Now, for instance, my great-grandfather immigrated here to the United States from Cornwall, England, specifically St. Keverne. Wouldn't you know it, there's some YouTubers who are from that area, and this is the St. Keverne Church where my great-grandfather was actually baptized. And they have this video on here of some walking trails around that area where they actually go on a walk on these trails and show you the countryside. This is the area that my great-grandfather and his ancestors lived. That's just amazing. Until you go on YouTube and start looking for specific locations, you're not going to know what there is available for you to find. So let me go over some other examples. German ancestors, and these links are in that bit.ly link that we showed you at the beginning. We'll show it to you here at the end. Who has German ancestors that migrated to the U.S.? All right, a lot of us. Now, there wasn't just one migration of Germans to the U.S. There was a lot of different migrations to the U.S. And there was reasons why each of these migrations happened. There's historians on YouTube that explain what these migrations were, what people from the different areas of Germany migrated during those time periods. And that can give you some clues as far as maybe if you didn't know where in Germany your ancestors are from, where to start looking just based on what time period they migrated during. If you have an ancestor that served in World War I, there's videos you can actually watch newsreels from World War I of what those soldiers were doing as far as their training, as far as their preparation. Some of them are actually newsreels from the front lines in Europe. That is amazing that you can actually see that history and be able to share that with your kids and your grandkids. If you want to know about getting dressed in the 1800s, there's videos about what it took to get dressed, what articles of clothing you had to put on, all that effort that needed to be made for somebody as simple as getting dressed. So each of these topics is covered by various videos on YouTube that you can discover, and there's many, many more.
Okay. The other thing I like about genealogy is that there's a lot of educational content on how to be a better genealogist. Now, how many of you have discovered the BYU Family History Library lectures on YouTube? Now, those are kind of nice, right? A little bit long, but they're kind of nice, right? So go ahead and check out the BYU Family History Library. They're constantly putting out new videos. The next thing, you can go and check out company websites. How many of you use Ancestry? Okay, so Ancestry puts out some of the feel-good commercial videos, but if you scroll down a little bit, Andy, Krista Cowan, the Barefoot Genealogist, has a lot of great videos. Sometimes it's an update on collections you'll see on Ancestry, or sometimes it's a how to do certain genealogy. So check out the Ancestry channel. You can also check out the MyHeritage channel. Now, you want to look at their playlist about education because, again, they have a lot of ad-type content, feel good, get involved, but they also have some educational videos so you can learn the platform and learn your research skills. How many of you want to learn more about DNA? Understand it. Well, Morris Gleason has this channel, DNA and Family Tree Research. Don't worry, all of the links to these channels are in the bonus handout that we have, and we'll make sure we put that bit.ly link later. But he has a lot of educational videos about how to understand your genealogy. Now, how many of you have heard about Blaine Bettinger with DNA? Now, he's starting a YouTube channel, and so he doesn't have a lot of content on there yet, but he does have content on his YouTube channel. Anybody use genealogy software like Roots Magic or Legacy Tree? How many of you are expert users of Legacy Tree and Roots Magic? Exactly. Well, Roots Magic and Legacy Tree have videos on YouTube on how to use their products better. So go ahead and, I don't know about you, but I like to see instead of be told. I want you to show me, don't tell me. And so I like when people walk through, how do you do something on Roots Magic? And you can see those in many of the Roots Magic's videos. Now, how many of you are a lonely genealogist? You're all by yourself. Most people don't engage with you, right? And you just want to be social. Well, there's a number of channels that want you to be social. So the Black Pro-Gen, if any of you have African-American ancestries, Black Pro-Gen, who is Nika Smith, they have educational and engaging content. So you can be in the chat and you can talk to them and have a great time. Another channel you might want to check out, because I see some of you young folks in here, is the Next Gen Genealogy channel. And what they do is they have regular interviews with young genealogists. Young genealogist is usually 40 and below, which means not us anymore. But they'll interview various genealogists on what they're doing, and you can engage in the chat. Well, we also have to tell you about Family History Fanatics. So Family History Fanatics has all of those things. We show you how to do things. We teach you how to do DNA. We have live streams where you can engage with our topics. On March 8th, we're going to be interviewing Daniel Horowitz from the MyHeritage platform. Bring your questions, ask them. You can see that the live stream is right there, ready to go. If you want to go to the channel within the next couple of days, Andy, click on the live stream real quick. There is a bell that says reminder, and so you get a reminder notification when that goes live. So Family History Fanatics, we would love for you all to become our latest subscribers, except for the ones who already are. And again, if we don't have content that you want, guess what you have to do? You add comments, you ask questions in the community, and you like, and you share, and we know what more you want. Okay. But beyond learning genealogy, we can't be so narrow-minded. How many of you would give anything for stories from your ancestors? Well, you have to share the stories, okay? You have to share the stories. And some of the ways you're going to have to do that is by writing your family history. If you struggle with writing your family history, here's a channel that you want to check out. Lynn Palermo, she loves writing family history, and she has videos that teach you how to do it. Pinnacle Studio. So how many of you have home movies? How many of you have digitized your home movies? Okay. Well, now that they're digitized, sometimes they're kind of long, and you need to edit them down. We use Pinnacle Studio, and we use Pinnacle Studio to edit all of our videos that you see on YouTube. But you will also find channels for iMovie Maker, Adobe, I'm blanking, Premiere, and other channels. But you can go there. And finally, I love to scrapbook. I think scrapbooks are little bits of stories that help me talk about my ancestors rather than a big book. And it actually is a gateway to a larger book. And my dear friend, she's like, I'm not into scrapbooking. But if you might be interested in scrapbooking, be sure to check out this channel because she teaches you how to use Photoshop elements as well as some other really, really great things. So get in there and learn lots and lots of things about the skills involved with capturing and preserving your memory as well as learning genealogy. There's also videos on spreadsheets. Genealogists need to become really handy with spreadsheets, especially in the ticks and tally US Census time period. We really got to get to know our spreadsheets. There's videos on spreadsheets. And there's also videos on the old ways of doing things, like how do you make the clothing from the past? Because once you know how people made the clothing of the past, you can then add that to your writing, and it makes your writing a whole just so rich and so deep.
All right, so the third way that we can share or that we can use YouTube is to share with others. And that's what YouTube really was designed to do, is to share videos with other people. So let me pull up the last set of videos here.
And this is the section on the family bonding. So we talked about the library of learning, and now we're going to talk about the family bonding, the sharing of when you edit those videos and you create different content, because you really want to connect with your family and have them belong, the theme of this conference. You get it?
Almost. Let's see here. I think so. All right. So there's lots of different ways that you can make slideshows or documentaries. So for instance, what's playing right now is something that my wife and I made for a family reunion about my grandfather. And he had served on this ship during World War II, which just so happens to be a ship that is a museum now just outside of Houston. And so our family reunion was down there, and we took the whole family. So his kids, his grandkids, and his great-grandkids to the ship that he served on. And we put together this bit of, this little documentary that we also played for him that showed different things from that World War II time period. The kids loved this.
I made my mother-in-law cry, but in a good way.
Another thing you can do is we mentioned about playlists, is you can compile playlists. If you're having a family reunion or some other family event, compile a playlist of things to do. This is one that we actually found of a family, and they're singing at their family reunion. This is something then that you could share with members of your family who weren't there, or that is saved for family members who come after you to be able to watch later.
Think about having a family reunion, and you start having people tell stories. You can capture that on video and make a channel, and then you can have that afterwards so that you can enjoy it if you were there, or if you weren't there, and long into the future.
Now, just because you put the videos on YouTube does not mean that they have to be searchable by everybody. YouTube has a way that you can make the videos unlisted, in which case you have to actually have that link. So if you want to just share that link with your family members, you can share that link with family members, and people aren't going to find it when they're just searching for videos. If you want to keep videos private, you can actually make them private, in which case only you can view them when you're logged in to YouTube. So there's other ways to share videos without necessarily having to share with the whole world. Finally, the last couple of ways is live streaming. We were trying to live stream this on our YouTube channel, and for some reason it failed. But we live stream every 2 weeks on our YouTube channel about genealogy. And about once a month we're doing interviews with different people about genealogy. Like Devon had said, we have Daniel Horowitz coming up this next Friday. And finally, there's a lot of videos on YouTube about nostalgia, about the days gone by. We found this video on YouTube of my father. It was a movie that he was a part of when he was in college. It's called Ice Cream and Elevators. That's my dad.
And he's going to get dumped.
He's going to get dumped in this movie, but that's something that has actually been digitized now from the early 1970s and uploaded to YouTube. That is available for not just our family, but for all of these actors and actresses that were a part of this and their kids and grandkids to share.
Her husband produced that video?
You're kidding.
That is so cool. It was a video, yep, it was a video created at BYU. That is such a small world. That's so cool.
I'll tell you a quick story about this. So this was back in 1994. My dad and a couple of my brothers were visiting BYU, and they went by the film department, and my dad had asked about this video, and that. And they said, yeah, I think that's in the trash bin right now, because we just cleaned out, like yesterday, all these shelves of old videos. They were able to go and get the old 8mm or whatever, 35mm, and they made a VHS copy for him. But then it was destroyed, as far as we know. And so we thought our VHS copy was the only one until we got this. And this is a much better quality than what we had. And you have a copy of it also. So
that's awesome.
it's great because our kids, that would be my dad's grandkids, can see this. And it's, involves lots of other people. I mean, that's really cool.
That's just way cool. That's
that wasn't planned, everybody.
Yay! But think about it. There are really cool things that you're going to find, and you're going to go, hey, my grandfather did this, or hey, this person did that, or think about those old newsreels. Your ancestor could actually have been in those World War II newsreels. So go and learn about YouTube. Go and just binge watch it, get some popcorn, and just enjoy. We hope this helps you in any aspect, help you learn the things that you need to learn in genealogy, how to get more out of the platform by engaging with the content, by responding with the content, and I hope you will get this handout with some of the other suggestions that we have for YouTube. Any questions?